Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. One of the newer marketing tools is influencer marketing, and today we have an influencer with us. Nikki Serenity's here. I'm so
Oh,
happy to see you, Nikki.
you too. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about influencer marketing, and then we'll talk about why it's good for startups.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways to do partnerships and brand deals. I've worked with some local companies that I've made videos for, and they've paid me like a flat fee to make a video for them. I do affiliate marketing where I get a discount code to share with my followers, and then I get a percentage of the sales that I send to them. It can really help startup brands because there are different levels of influencers. Some have up to even millions of followers. So teaming up with an influencer can just help people get their business out to a never-ending number of people potentially, depending on who you partner with. So it's a really good way to get the word out there and help drive more business to people who are looking for it.
How does a startup contact an influencer?
There are different ways for that too. As an influencer, I've teamed up with brands different ways. I've met some at in-person networking events. I've met them through social media, and I've met them through influencer apps. So I recommend for businesses to sign up on some influencer apps and also look for influencers through social media directly. You won't find a lot of influencers at the in-person networking events. That's one of the ways that I leverage what I do for those events because I am actually the only one who goes to the ones that I actually attend. So I would look more online for an influencer in general.
Okay, so a startup would be looking for someone who talks about how they solve the same problem that the startup does, or looking for people in their industry, right? So how do you go about finding additional partners for you?
Either I'll find them through social media or they'll contact me directly. And also the influencer apps. There's a main app I use. It's a influencer. So it looks like AI influencer. That's the main one I use right now. And then honestly, the biggest way has been through social media. Either I'll find brands and contact them and see if they need an influencer or they'll find me.
What particular social media do you do, Nikki?
I try to use pretty much everything. My main ones are Facebook and Instagram. I also utilize TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Threads, and Snapchat a little bit, although that's a little more private, so it's not really like a public social media, but I'll kind of use it just in addition to the other things I use.
Okay. Do you happen to know if there are LinkedIn influencers?
I believe there are, or at least some influencers also use LinkedIn in addition to what they use. I wouldn't say it's as common as some of the other platforms, but I personally recommend to anyone trying to get the name out there for any kind of business to try to spread yourself out across all platforms.
Sure. So particularly a startup that's got a product should be looking for groups that would use that product or influencers that discuss the problem that the product solves, right?
Yeah, potentially some influencers have a certain niche. So like some influencers focus on beauty or fashion. So it may be good to look for an influencer that focuses on the category that they're trying to promote. Um, and some influencers like myself are a little more general. Um, I'll promote, fashion, supplements, makeup, pretty much anything that wouldn't go against like my personal beliefs, I guess.
So that's what makes an influencer is someone that you can trust who has a similar attitude towards life and things as you do, right? That's how you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
more followers.
Yeah, that's why it's so great when I get to work with products that I love because I don't like to lie. Like I'll be honest.
Sure.
And if a product doesn't work for me, it's probably not a good fit for me.
Mhm.
But when you really love something and you promote it, like you can tell, I feel like.
So, what was the last new business that you partnered up with to help promote them?
Oh, so actually, I do have a really new one. I partnered up with a local company called BioFit. It's kind of like a gym, but they have a special resistance technology. Um, and it's hard to explain how it works exactly because it's so complicated, but it's so much more effective than regular workouts, and you can do it in such a short amount of time. And I've been doing it for the past like month and a half, and I'm obsessed with it. I've been seeing results. People have been noticing results on me, and like I believe in it so much that that's one of the reasons I'm like a perfect fit for an influencer for them because I'm like, it works. Like I've seen the results, and I can speak to that, to people who might be interested in that.
There, nothing sells a product more than somebody who really loves it. An ordinary person who would normally use something like that, and they really love it, and they show people how it works too. Okay, so people can just reach out to an influencer by commenting on something or by
Um,
finding their
they
website.
um messaging them would probably be the best way. Some influencers, especially the bigger ones, might have inboxes that are blowing up, so maybe contact commenting as well. Or if you can find their email, I would say that's probably the best way to contact them if they keep their email on their profile.
Okay. So you as an influencer, do you keep your email on your profile?
Well, mainly on my Instagram, I would say there's like a contact button and I have my email attached to that. But I also pay attention to my comments and messages too. So that makes it a little bit easier that however they do choose to contact me, I should see it.
Okay. Okay. Sounds really interesting. And is there a way for one of your affiliates to track how a customer came to them by way of your being an influencer?
Um, Depending on how they reach out to that business, sometimes an affiliate that I'll team up with will have like a referral section, like, oh, Nikki Serenity referred me. Um, as far as like my actual posts go, it's a little bit different for each platform, but there's a way on a lot of platforms you can see like how many views, how much watch time, how many clicks, how many shares, those kinds of things that each video gets, so you can kind of see how much reach they got. If they reach out to the brand directly and don't really give your name, it's kind of hard to track that, but unfortunately, I don't think there's much that can really be done about that.
Mhm.
Um, so it kind of depends on how they set it up.
Okay. This is really interesting stuff. Do you have any other particular tips for startups?
Don't give up. When I started out, I was making no money, and it's really easy to feel like you want to give up, but I kept going for it and working at it, and sometimes it takes some trial and error and figuring out what works for you. Um, and I've found certain brands that have made me like a ton of money. And like it took a while to get there, but sometimes that's just what happens. You got to invest time and energy to get what you're looking for out of it. But I feel like it's kind of that way with anything.
Don't give up. Well, thank you again, Nikki Serenity. And we'll put contact information in the comments so people can reach out to you for anything else they might need.
Awesome. That works. Thank you.
And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. And one of the best things you can do to accomplish that is book a call with me and let's see how we can collaborate. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.